Roberto, from your experience as a general director of Youth Building the Future, how can young people effectively navigate and address their intersections of gender, race, class, and disability when advocating for sustainable development goals?
Thank you so much. I think the SDGs just point that, and that's partnerships. But what we cannot do partnerships if we are not deconstructed. There are young people around the world working on climate. There are people working on sustainability, but they still have vision of classism, of racism, of colorism, and vision of division. So and that's and I'm taking my message just as Irene says. We need that data. We need to really focus that on science because we can measure the impact of all actions that we take. We can measure everything. United Nations released Mission 4.7 specifically on education, as long other big campaigns to really address this. So just to point again to the question, we can do. A real progress on the SDGs, talking about the 17 different goals, but we can do it once that we start really collaborating. That's the big problem that we have globally. We are not collaborating. We are not making partnerships. We can see that in Yunga. We can see that at COP. We can see that in all groups, loss and damage, energy transition, anything. We are not collaborating. We are not sharing technology. We are not sharing knowledge. We are not sharing experiences. So that's what's really partnerships. The last SDG, what sometimes we forget about and we only put in our speeches, but not into action. So in order to collaborate is to deconstruct myself, the vision of what I do, where I came from, where's my money came from, where's my privilege come from, and let the people that I got behind to. That's the message. Left no one behind. How can I have an improvement in? Conscious that there's someone behind me. I gotta push them with me. That's the fight that each of us have to take in each topic. It's going to be different, but that's the relevance about this to share that a strong message. And there's a lot of criticism, even in youth, how we're doing these collaborations, how we're doing the improvement, how are we implementing, actions, programs, campaigns, because it's sometimes everything about me. It's everything about me, myself, and I in the figure that I represent, but not about the movement, but not about truly having this impact. And I have finished with this. We can measure the impact. The SDGs are an agenda of science. It's composed, as Irene says, by goals, by data, by metadata. I love to see the methodologies that was created to make the SDGs. If you hadn't done it, I really invite you to check those beautiful documents back in 2014, in 2015, where the science board decide which methodology are we going to use to construct this specific goal, and then create like this big goal, the 17 SDGs. So if we see that, we can see that we can measure the impact that we're having. And now I won't get tired of saying this, because all actions can be measured, and by measuring, by having a reflection and an evaluation of the progress that we're making, even in NGOs, civil society, youth groups, we can measure the impact that we're having, and we can have a better impact, a bigger impact. So that's it. Making collaboration, making partnerships, making alliances, but not only on our speeches, but take it into action. It's hard. It's not simple to deconstruct ourselves. We can tell we all have a different experience, a different background, and being from the global north, from this global south, is different. It's not, oh, just put the youth in one room and let them decide. It doesn't work like that. We have to take a history context. We need to take capitalism. We need to take racism, classism. All the topics that the last generation was really uncomfortable to talk. And that's, I remember the topic of 2020, to have the uncomfortable talks. We need to have the uncomfortable talks. We need to make uncomfortable to our politics. We need to make uncomfortable the industries, and then even our own generation and the people that we have that we are sitting next to, make them uncomfortable, because that's when we are getting to our close, or to a result. That's something that can be, can be measured. So I hope I respond the question.
Yeah, you definitely did. From my understanding, let's stop being stingy. Let's share the information, right?
Yeah.
Let's stop being stingy. We're all here for the same reason, to better our youth, to better our community, to better our society. We are getting older, right? We were younger at one time. I had a lot of energy. Let's get these youth involved. Let's not, let's share the source, the resources and tools that we have been making, and let's give it to them and see what they can do with it, right?